Welcome in to the Jacksonville Jaguars franchise, where we are coming off one of our best games of the season, with the biggest gambles coming from Coach Boston. But now we get to test it out in division as we host rival in the Houston Texans. And last we left off, a little bit of a cliffhanger on possible trades to start off today's episode, including Hines Allen, with Trayvon Walker landing the $100 million contract. And after further examination, we have decided not to trade away Hines Allen. He provides both finesse and power moves with some run stopping, and despite him being 29 years old, we still have him under contract for the next 2 seasons following this year, so we have time to move him in the future. And part of the reason we decided to not trade him is because the only other option that we found was Chop Robinson. And while he's young, a star dev, good overall 84, his ratings very much in line with what we have in Ellis. Now, both Ellis as well as Chop are from the same draft class. Ellis is just a normal dev. The only difference really is the finesse moves are a good bit lower, but he's also about $2.5 million cheaper, which was the whole reason we were going to make a trade in the first place, was to save money. So instead, Coach Boston will be keeping an eye on some edge rushers in the draft. At left outside linebacker alone, you have 3 first-round options, a day 2, and then some later rounds. On the right-hand side, less top-tier talent, 1 round 1, 1 round 2 to 3, and 1 round 3 to 4. But you could also look at moving some of these ends. In the first round alone, you have 2 options at left who could move to outside linebacker. And at right, you have 3 different options, including the top 5 in Patrick Nickerson. But with one bit of drama out the way, in walks another. Coach Boston had a meeting this week with Brian Thomas Jr., who shared how unhappy he is with how the offense has ran up to this point. Despite receiving quite a few targets last week in the offense's best performance, he's now wanting to receive rushing plays as well. In the first couple of years, he did great on some jet sweeps and on some end arounds. With that, we promised to try to get that back involved in the offense. And with a renewed sense of self on offense and our star receiver asking for even a larger workload, we hit the field, looking to end our woes in the divisional front. We are underway. Washington back to return as he will take it right down the middle, getting by the 25, though not much further from there. And the offense can hit the field. A great game from Polk last time behind a new offensive line, completely restructured down the middle. As we get motion here, Jordan Addison, fake it to him. It's going to be ETN on the run, a gain of 2. Though 2 touchdowns for him last week, 70-plus yards, and one of the better running days this offense has had this season. A 2nd and 5 here, just short of the 30. They will look to throw across the middle and finding Gabe Davis, who will be mere inches short of the first down. With a heavy set, the Jaguars offense hits the field. 3 tight ends right-hand side, and a new power group for them to follow behind. ETN has the first down up to about the 44. Now, how Coach Boston will look to get the running game involved with the receivers, we'll have to find out how that fold intertwines. They will look to pass here, or instead Polk will take a scramble himself, sliding down, first down, gain of 11. And that flips the field to the opposite 44. Sticking with a tight look here, shotgun set. Polk will throw outside. Thomas gets his first grab, and another Jaguar first down. 3rd one of the drive alone. And that moves him inside the 35. Too tight left-hand side. Polk will look to throw. He finds Dawson Knox, a gain of 7. Offense a little bit more spread out here today, looking to pass to open up the day. They'll come out with a tight single back set here. Knox, slight motion into the backfield. A wham block down the middle opens up for Travis Etienne. The Texans defense having a problem here to slow down this Jaguar offense. It was a close battle the first go around, but the Texans did hold. Pass here is out to Dawson Knox, who shakes the tackle, cuts back in, and is chopped down at the 2. Will be a goal-to-go situation with a bunch to the left-hand side. In motion is Thomas across to the right-hand side as it's RPO and a touchdown indeed for Trevor Lawrence. This offense has greatly picked up behind the blocking of 2 tackles traded for, shifting them down to guard. And of course, Quinn Minor shifting down to center. They've been able to bulldoze, which has been a problem for this offense this season. Or at least that's been the case until now. But as for the Texans, who take the field, they welcome in the number 3 passing team in the NFL. We just faced the number 1 team and shut them down in the Lions. Run here goes nowhere. Loss of 1, Junior Alford. He is continuing a breakout performance, taking a larger role here in this defense. 2nd and 11, pass across the middle, and finding their young target for the first down. Great throw from Stroud finds Isaiah McDougald. But of course, you got to remember Nico Collins here with this Texans team. A phenomenal performance last time, and a really sloppy tackle. Cisco has to get over there and drag him down by the ankle. The 2 first downs in a row, that one courtesy of Jeffrey. With the 45, about 2 minutes left here in the quarter, bringing the blitz and a pass breakup, Jerrion Jones. That one intended for Stephon Diggs. Now we do already have an early injury update here. Nico Collins currently at the sideline, nursing a shoulder injury. We'll see if he can find his way back out onto the field here today. The pass to the outside is McDougald, who shakes one, slips by another. Aluakin will have to track him down. Texans at the 22. Just as easily as our offense marched down the field, Houston doing the same. They got their tight end in motion from right to left. And then back to the outside. 1v1, he plucks it away from Yancey, who nearly had an interception. Instead, Theo Wiggins, the tight end we decided not to draft, scores on us for our rival. And with that, our Jaguars have given up their first set of points in about 5 quarters of play. Need not let that affect the flow of this game, though. We are tied up 7-7, taking over on offense at the 33. A good return from Washington gets us back underway here, and outrunning the pulling guard, a gain of 3 for Travis. Perhaps reasons to maybe slow down a little bit, get that block, and spring yourself for a little bit more. As they go back to the run, this time he's just beat by Wingo. At most, a gain of 1 there leaves 3rd and 6 here for our Jaguars. Coming out with a bunch look, and they're going to get motion. That is Sexton, the tight end. 2 tight ends on that left-hand side. As they look to throw, opens up Addison with some speed, finds the corner, jukes under the safety, and will carry him down to the 37. Another 3rd down conversion here for Jacksonville. And that takes us to the break, where we have been one of the worst 3rd down conversion teams this year. Not one of the worst, we were the worst. But with last week and a good start this week, we are well correcting. But we've still got a long way to go as we get the second quarter underway, tied up 1st and 10 plus side. Throw outside, finds Dawson Knox. Another 1st down for the Jags. A little bit of a late hit there, not penalized. But both defenses definitely struggling to find their foothold in this game. As once again, Jaguars about at the red zone. Throws weak hand side, finds Sexton, who will turn up. Another 1st down inside the 10, pushed out at the 8, goal to go. It'll be from a tight shotgun look here. Etienne in the backfield. As they look to set up a wide receiver screen, it's Thomas Jr. breaking the tackle and breaking the goal line. Jaguars march back down the field, and Brian Thomas Jr. gets on that scoreboard. Will that be enough? It's not exactly a run, but it is 6 points on the board. And Polk orchestrating a really smooth drive there, 2 straight smooth drives. Texans take the field. CJ Stroud pretty high here on the leaderboard for passing yards. We knocked down Jared Goff a few notches there. Can we do the same today? Gonna have to improve based off that first drive. Leaves Pierce open down the middle. Aluakin close. And he was stuck having to try to guard both Pierce as well as Wiggins, who seems to have taken over today as the starting tight end. No more Dalton Schultz. who has put together some great games against us. Run game here is denied Hines Allen. Will be a loss of 2 for the Texans. And I hope Hines Allen comes ready to play this year with those trade talks put to bed. 2nd and 12. They get motion in Wiggins. Once again, that zig motion. Quick throw is up and eventually hits the turf. I believe Stroud was trying to find McDougal there. 3rd and 12 at the 36. They will look to go with some curl routes. Wiggins has the catch but gets clobbered 3 yards short. Jaguars stand. The offense can hit the field from there. A perfect 100% on the day is Jeff Polk. And it'll be him lone in the backfield to start the next drive, up by a touchdown. As he will scramble, picking up some good blocks from his receivers. He takes the contact, but with it, he's going to pick up an extra 2 or 3 yards to the 43. Now a tighter set here with Knox and Davis right-hand side. They hand it off Travis, who could leak underneath the blocks. Gets a stiff arm, will not get away, but a massive gain to the opposite 33. And back to the empty set here for Polk. Has 2 to the left-hand side, bunch to the right. Letting this one develop, and he's going to take the sack. Wingo gets the pressure down the middle. Not exactly what you want to see after just trading for 2 new players. Of course, Conklin, a former tackle, but not exactly the highest rated in terms of pass blocking, and Addison gets blown up on the outside. Texans, after letting up quite a few plays, standing tall the last 2, 3rd and 17. It's play action, and it's going to be another sack, this time Daniil Hunter, knocking him well outside of field goal range. Jags will have to punt away. Harrison, the culprit that time, giving up the rush. Stroud and the Texans take the field at the 20. More motion here again from that tight end spot. Just a lot of window dressing, trying to get the defense to shift around. Big hit from Aluakin. The young receiver just got the Jaguar logo tattooed on his chest. 2nd and 10. This time the motion goes all the way across in Wiggins. Stroud dropping back, looking for a throw downfield. Too tall for the 5'11" McDougal. Though Campbell did have him locked up pretty good in coverage. 3rd and 10. More motion again here. Wiggins back over to where he started. Jaguars bring the rush and missing it, but throwing it away will work out. Jaguars do not get the sack, but they force the throwaway and a 2nd consecutive punt. With 2:22 remaining here in the first half, Jaguars will hit the field. They're up by 7. And they find a 2-score lead before halftime. Throwing across the middle, they find Thomas, who's going to turn up, try to find the sideline, and will out at the 42. He's already receiving quite a few targets in this one. Hasn't found a rush yet, but that will take us inside the 2-minute warning. In plus side, 2 deep safeties. A spread look here from the Jaguars. They throw short once again, finding Dawson Knox, who's close to the line to gain, about a yard short. They've really just been looking for those quick hitters every time they've gone for one of those more developing plays. There has been some pass rush that has arrived. Going to the outside here, Jordan Addison with a nice little zig move can turn down the sideline and out at about the 9-yard line. A quick goal to go here for the Jags. And the Texans find a way to slow them down. With 1:50 still to go here in the half. Trying to set up the screen. It's into the turf. With 1:48 still to play with here. Split backfield, Tank Bigsby and Travis Etienne. As they hand it off, following Iquanu, he's down to about the 3. But can they knock it in here? Letting that clock roll. Too tight to the left, too spread to the right. And it will be a pass here. Letting it develop, a high ball for Knox is broken up. They had Gabe Davis coming across. Perhaps one more split second of a wait, and you have an open receiver. Instead, Cam Little with a chip shot field goal here with 1 minute to spare. They will find a 2-score lead. 10-point ball game, 17-7. But did they leave C.J. Stroud with too much time to spare? 3 timeouts in his back pocket. 58 seconds and a good return. They start at the 37. Trips to the left-hand side. Wiggins lone to the right-hand side. Walker with some rush. Ball is out and caught by Mixon, who's fighting around the midfield line. First timeout comes in there for the Texans. They do get into plus side. First down, play one, and it only cost them about 7 seconds. Now we got two to the right-hand side, two tight end formation, and finding Wiggins. Jerry and Jones not able to jar it free, but a quick second timeout. Already Texans sitting about field goal range with a 2nd and 2, 46 seconds. Jaguars bring the blitz, but it leaves it open for Stefon Diggs to get the first down across the middle. Now they'll have to go hurry up here or just try to get back to the line quickly. About 10 seconds run off the clock, 20 seconds and now counting. Still have that timeout back pocket. Wiggins eating up some more time here on that little motion. They get it back out to Stefon. Final timeout called with 10 seconds. They're at the 26. Looks like they'll settle for the field goal attempt from here. So neither defense does great inside the 2-minute warning. Fairbairn, but here comes Griffey to block the field goal. But they do recover. No timeouts. The final seconds will go ahead and tick off. But he finally got his first career start last week. Now he gets to block on special teams. A big showing there from the rookie defensive lineman to help keep this a 2-score game at half. Overall, a lot to be happy with. The offense playing a lot better than we did in that first matchup. Defense, however, they could be playing a little bit better as the Colts pick up a big win against the Cowboys, 28-25, despite 3 interceptions from Richardson. They're the team to beat for us in the AFC South. Buccaneers hand it to the Minnesota Vikings 44-20. Allen, 4 touchdowns. Meanwhile, McCarthy struggling there in Minnesota. As for the final studio update, we have Tennessee losing to the Ravens 24-3. Will Levis only 53 passing yards, 26 rushing for Winborn. As we get our second half underway here in Duval, it will be the Texans out on offense. Dameon Pierce in the leaderboard here for receiving touchdowns for running backs. Typically Travis Etienne in that category, but the offense hasn't quite found their groove until late on here. As Stefon Diggs, he gets the carry, a big block there from Dameon Pierce will spring him for the first. And with Nico Collins basically being out for this entire game, he's had to step up his play. He really hasn't affected many of the prior showings between these two. And pressure from Hines Allen rips down Stroud from behind. After a tackle like that, of course, he's going to have a word with his left tackle in Tunsil. That was monstrous from Hines Allen. 2nd and 16. 2 to left, 1 to the right. More little zig motion. Wiggins hands it off. Pierce, who finds a little lane. Ringo can't bring him down, slows him down for help to arrive. Cisco and Yancey. But that leaves the Texans with a 3rd and 7. Very manageable here with the talent they have on offense. Stroud with some more window dressing. And we'll look to throw, or instead he's going to scramble very quickly here. Lloyd comes in to smack him down a yard short of the line to gain as well as midfield. Stroud and Alford share a few words as well. This is a rivalry game for sure. The defense with a great stand out the gate. The offense hitting the field following a good punt. Back at the 12. 3 tight ends right-hand side as they go with the counter. Travis does not get the block he wants, and he can't get outside either. Petrie saving the play here for the Texans. If he doesn't get that tackle, we're looking at big yardage for the Jags. Keeping with the same look here, Polk, he drops back. Looks to throw across the middle of the field, and he finds Dawson Knox. First down. These tight ends really putting in the work here for their quarterback. And in fact, they're going to bring out every tight end they have, and anyone who might play a little bit of fullback as well. No receivers. Heavy formation as they will look to pass across the middle of the field, finding Madison Turner. That might be his first reception, perhaps, at least from a tight end position. He's primarily been playing their fullback role. Brenton Strange checks into that spot here with the motion. Travis down the middle, plus a flag, just all around a bad run play there for the Jags. This one will be moving backwards. And unfortunately for Turner, who we just celebrated on that play, he's the cause of that penalty. Roll out here, throwing, and it looked like it was Thomas who just bumped Addison. He couldn't catch up. Gotta hate the friendly fire. Leaves 2nd and 20 here, backed up at the 32. Trips go to the left-hand side. Dawson knocks out there at right side. They will look his way with green grass in front. Who needs the deep ball when your tight end can catch and run for a gain of 30, maybe even 40, somewhere in there? But Jeff Polk, only one incomplete pass today, and most of those have come when there's just been pressure. He takes the hit when he tries to throw. Hasn't really been a bad throw today. Pass to the outside is through the hands of Dawson Knox. Make that 4 incomplete, but a penalty with a late hit on Polk. Josh Hill arrives late, and that's going to be a free first down here for the Jags, so never mind that incomplete pass. Polk flips the formation here, sending the receivers to the right-hand side, and he has Thomas, but he overthrows him. His first bad play is a missed touchdown opportunity for Thomas. So 2nd and 10, it'll be then still at the 20. Tight look here, 2 tight ends, right-hand side. Thomas in motion. They give it to him on the jet sweep, and there's a carry, but he's going to lose 5 on the play. Maybe next time he won't ask for too many handoffs. Or maybe next time he'll ask for a block on the outside. Only one defender really sat in his way. But a 3rd and 15. Hard count, no one jumps. Letting this play develop. No one quite getting open. Polk will just have to get rid of it. Wingo provides the hit, but it keeps the Jags inside a field goal range here for Cam Little. And he will tack on 3 more, making this 22-7. Still 2 touchdowns away here for the Houston Texans. And with how close of games these two have produced in the past, this could still come down to the wire. Defense has to keep making their big plays, only holding to the Texans 7 points at this point, and under pressure, I believe Hines Allen gets there. He also had Griffey, and I believe maybe Alford or Mason Smith. I don't know. There was a 3rd body there. Great play from this defense, a 2nd and 18. As Wiggins with more of his motion. DB's backing up, then coming back down. They throw, finding Stephon Diggs. Tried to put the spin move on, will be 2 yards short. And they'll come at it with a bunch to the left. One receiver, McDougal, to the right. Play action. They will look to throw, and it's off the heel of Jeffrey, who set him up with a good starting position that goes to waste. Defense gets the stop. And honestly, the Texans' best performance today has been at punter, once again starting backed up here. Jeff Polk, though, in his X factor, hands it off to Travis Etienne, who gets to the outside, a little stiff arm, but another flag comes down. At this point, you can only half the distance, and that's exactly what it's going to be. Antone Harrison with the hold. Only moves us back a yard, so 2nd and 12, I guess about 1.5 yards. Standing on our own goal line, though. Throws across the middle and dropped by Thomas. Him and Lassiter kind of going at each other down on the ground there. No penalties come in, keeps it 2nd and 12. Handing this one off, Travis. Wingo there, maybe getting 1 yard at most. 3rd and 11. And Polk find a first down here for the Jags. He goes 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Setting up a pass. Or instead, he's going to look to scramble. Does not get the block from the running back. He can't hit the edge. Maybe about 1 yard or 2 to punt this ball away. But it'll be the 4th quarter where the Texans will look to start their next drive, and they need it to be a touchdown drive. Currently down 22-7. They have not found much success today outside their first 1 or 2 possessions. But with crunch time here and starting basically on the midfield logo, it's 1st and 10. As they hand it off, Mixon, he's tracked down Devin Lloyd, who just got that near $50 million contract extension. Coach Boston has shown that if you play well, you will get your money here in Jacksonville, and hopefully that'll just help out when we look to find some key free agents. Though Stephon Diggs, he's continuing his best performance against us, a first down catch to the 35. And he matched up against Jerry Jones, probably not the best look. Might see how well switching Campbell to that side will do the remainder of this game. 1st and 10, though, might be the last matchup between he and Jerry Jones. As the defense hits the field here, indeed, yes, Jerry Jones switching over to the right-hand side, Campbell to the left. As they will set up a throw to the outside. finding Pierce first down, but I believe there was a flag thrown early. It is a hold. Shaq Mason with the infraction, and I believe that would have been on Mason Smith. 2nd and 14 then. They only lose about 5. And a throw to the outside is dropped by Wiggins. Nearly picked, but the DB couldn't keep his head up. If he did, might have been the nail in the coffin here for the Texans, but they still got 6 minutes left. Bringing the blitz, picked up well. Time to throw. He finally gets it out. Spinning off of 1, but not by the next gain of 5 for Mixon. On 4th and 9. Texans are going to keep the offense out here. 2 to the left, the rest to the right. Stroud sits empty. As they will send the rush. They kept Wiggins in the block. It does not pay off. Griffey not only gets his first career field goal block, but sack against the rival in the Houston Texans. He shucks off Laramie Tunsil and ends the drive of the Houston Texans. And if he can emerge as a key player for this defensive front, perhaps needing to even go after someone in the first round for edge rush won't be necessary. Travis takes the carry here, but there is a penalty. Looked like there might have been a face mask grab. No, jersey grab. And once again, it's on Harrison. That's been a problem from him since the beginning. 1st and 20. Hard to run out clock here when you got such a long distance to go. A little bit of some zig here. Trying to find some space. A gain of 5. Only about half of what we just lost. But keeping with the heavier sets here. 2 tight ends left-hand side. They got motion in Thomas. Handed off to him. And Knox just upended a player. That might perhaps be what the penalty is. It is technically a second carry for Thomas, but it won't stand. Maxwell Sexton with the hold instead. So one tight end does great, makes a big block. The other one grabs a little bit too much. 2nd and 25 as they go back to the jet sweep. Thomas this time doesn't lose any yards, or maybe about half a yard, but it will at least count as his second rushing attempt. 2nd and 25. Sexton in motion to the outside here as they look to set up a screen off the mark for Travis with some blockers in front. They'll have to punt away. And that leaves Houston with just under 4 minutes to find 13 points. It's all they need to tie this game up. 2 touchdowns puts them in front by 1. As they flood one side, it opens up here for C.J. Stroud, who will take it all the way to about the 50. Did not slide. And will go hurry up from there. Bunch right-hand side, leaving Stephon to the left. 4-man rush. Ball is out. And dropped by McDougald. It's been rough out there from Stroud. He's missed a couple passes. Quite a few have been dropped. Stephon Diggs, though, putting together a pretty good performance as they have motion. 2 tight ends to the right-hand side, all the way to the outside. Stroud throws that way to Wiggins, who shakes one. He has the only touchdown for them on the day, getting him down to the 33. 2 spread left-hand side, 1 to the right. Good blocking up front, and short again for Wiggins. And that is good news as he had several steps on Lloyd at the 33. Tight shotgun look for Stroud. More motion here, though this time going all the way across and to the outside for Wiggins. 4-man rush. Walker provides some pressure, but it's out to Wiggins. He and Stephon have been their offense. And honestly, what's different than a lot of these other games where it's been Dalton Schultz and Nico Collins? That one broken up for Wiggins, force-feeding the man. But it leaves them with a 4th and 1. They've got to convert here. Jags bring a little bit of some pressure. Open on the outside and caught by Jeffrey. A big play there, keeping their hopes alive. They got about 2.5 minutes at the 18. And they throw underneath. They find McDougald. Breaks one. Gets down to the 5. 1st and goal. And they're going to go hurry up from there. Getting their defense set up. Jaguars. Motion again all the way to the outside is Wiggins. But 2-minute warning hits. And the Texans get the job done here late, making this a game. They'll have to find the end zone here. 4 downs to do it at the 5. And they'll just need the 1. Wiggins gets his 2nd touchdown on the day. And that draws this game within 6. Jaguars are going to have to run some clock. This is where a little bit of the lack of offense in the second half is coming back to bite the Jaguars, who could have had this game well in hand. But now, minute 52 to try to run out some time. Travis, he finds a bunch of space right-hand side, and more importantly, no penalties. That's really been what has slowed down the offense this second half, was just our own mistakes. 2nd and 2. With the timeout called, only 2 more remaining for the Texans. And it's a first down for Travis. But as we just mentioned, our own self-inflicted wounds holding Quinn Miners pushes us back 2nd and 12. No timeouts have to be called there for Houston. This time Miners does get a block to the second level, but we only gain 3, and it's now 3rd and 9 with a timeout to spare here for Houston. This game really does come down to this play here. We could end it with a first down. Shotgun look. Polk ends up keeping it, and Daniil is on him. He stepped in, made Polk pull it, and as soon as he did that, he had the play they needed. 4th and 12, we've got a punt. And with no timeouts, a minute 37, they need the end zone. Field goal does them no good. Wiggins, though, in motion here. A little bit of that zig motion. He's done that all game, but he's been one of their primary targets. No rush. They find Jeffrey, short game. They're going to have to go hurry up from here on out. Now with trips to the right-hand side. And it'll stay that way even with what was a pretend motion and drop by Wiggins. Johnson there in coverage. Didn't get a hand on it. He was just simply dropped, perhaps hearing the footsteps. Ringo, he's got to get out there, get into position. 3rd and 6. They throw across the middle, and that could have been a pick to seal it. Instead, McDougal to the 47. Did so well that first half, but we just haven't quite seemed to keep our head on a swivel here in the second. Opportunity after opportunity have gone by the wayside. We sit with a minute remaining as they set up a throw here. Pressure building. Stroud having to scramble. He throws it out last second. Junior Alford with the pressure. And it's pressure this front 7 is going to have to provide, or front 4, as they know that they're going to be passing, set everyone back into coverage. Motion on the outside again is Wiggins. He's in a lot of movement. They go his way. He's upended by Aluakin. 3rd and 5. Hurry up here from the Texans. Keep with the bunch to the right-hand side. Walker providing that pressure, though, getting the ball out, but short of the line as Wiggins had to come back to it. It is 4th and 1. 4th and game here. If they could get the stop, but open across the middle, first down. But that will still do it. With no timeouts to call, Jaguars escape with the win here, 22-14. An escape indeed it was. They had all the opportunity to put this game away here in the second half. Way too many holding calls. That has always been a problem for this Jaguars team. And they became very costly, taking away a first down that could have sealed the game and not made things as interesting late. But a lot of key faces, a lot of key new faces made some big plays out there. Thomas, he got 2 rushes. Will that make him happy, or will we have a problem with our number 1 receiver? And getting in touch with him after the game to see if he liked how it was formatted around him, he still didn't like it. In fact, he's now even threatening Coach Boston. And taking a look at the stat sheet from the game, well, I guess I kind of know why. It only counted 3 catches. I feel like he definitely had more than 3 catches in that game. I could be wrong. I'll find out while editing. But it also did not track a single rush for him, despite the fact that we did have some jet sweeps with him. So I'm not sure what that's all about. I think that's a little bit unfortunate, and perhaps our number 1 receiver might be trying to force his way out at the end of this year if we don't give him those 100 receiving and 20 rushing. As it stands right now, he does not have a single rush listed on the year. And in terms of receiving, he only has 23. So we're going to have to pick up the pace here in the second half if we're to meet that. Otherwise, he's probably going to request a trade in the offseason, meaning we're going to have a lot of work to do and maybe trading Hines Allen as well as Brian Thomas Jr. When we put one set of drama to bed, another one seems to crop up. But we did find the win here today, and that means we're still keeping up here with the Indianapolis Colts. Both of us are 5-2. If we could continue racking up some wins and we beat them in the second matchup this season, we could jump ahead of them. As it stands right now, we're still sitting here 5th in the AFC. It's actually a pretty competitive league this season. As for our next game, it will be against the Steelers, who are 3-5, and I want to see the offense. Well, they did great in the first half. They let up in the second. We started making mental errors. Let's just have a game where we play consistent throughout, like we did against the Lions, and if we do that consistently, I think we could run this table. So make sure you stick around, hit that bell icon in the bottom right, or scroll down at the sub button and tap that bell icon so you're notified of when these videos go live. This series every single Tuesday and Thursday. Stanford Cardinal, they're in the playoffs if you don't want to miss out on that. We got a big one coming tomorrow, had a great one yesterday, and a really impressive one on Monday. If you're behind, make sure you catch up as we go on the road. Steelers, Monday Night Football, and apparently we need to start feeding Brian Thomas Jr.